All right, let's dive into one of the deepest mysteries there is. And it's not something out in the distant cosmos. It's right here, inside every single one of us. We're talking about the very essence of our being, consciousness.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Why does it feel like anything to be alive? It's not just that your brain is processing information, right? There's this private inner movie, this subjective experience of being you right now. Why does that even exist?
And believe me, this isn't just a random thought. Philosophers and scientists actually have a name for this puzzle. They call it the hard problem. And it's considered one of the biggest unanswered questions out there because, well, it asks why we have this rich inner world at all, instead of just being, biological robots running complex programs in the dark.
To really get this, we have to talk about something called qualia. It's a bit of a technical term, but all it means are the raw feelings themselves. Think about it. You can describe the physics of red light, its wavelength, its frequency, but you could never, ever describe the experience of seeing the color red to someone who's never seen it. That internal feeling, that's qualia. It's personal, it's subjective, and you can't really break it down into just data.
And this, right here, perfectly illustrates the massive issue we're facing. It's called the explanatory gap. On one side, you have the physical brain. We can measure it, we can see the neurons firing, the electricity flowing. It's all objective stuff. But then on the other side, you have the subjective mind, that feeling of joy, the experience of a color, that continuous sense that you are you. So the giant question is, how do you get from one to the other? How does objective matter create a subjective experience? Honestly, nobody knows.
And just when you think it can't get weirder, there's another layer to this: intentionality. It's basically the aboutness of our thoughts. I mean, your thoughts aren't just random chemical fizzing, they're about things. You can think about your family, or about an idea like justice, or even just about what you're going to have for dinner. How in the world can a clump of atoms and electricity point beyond itself and be about something else? It's a really deep puzzle. Okay, so here's the crucial point we're building to. The argument from consciousness basically says that if reality were only made of physical stuff, our rich, private inner world of thoughts and feelings probably shouldn't exist. It just doesn't seem to follow. And this huge challenge to materialism has led thinkers down all sorts of fascinating paths, but one of the oldest answers is found in theology.
So let's explore one of the most ancient ways of looking at this whole problem. This is the theological perspective, and it proposes that consciousness isn't something that just accidentally bubbled up from matter, but that it was placed there on purpose.
This verse from the Quran gets right to the heart of the matter. You see, in the creation story, it describes this very specific moment, a moment where a non-material element, a spirit, is infused into a physical body. This is presented as the actual origin point of human consciousness.
Let's break that down because the sequence is really important. First, you have the material origin. The body is fashioned from clay. Second, that physical structure is proportioned and formed. But the final and most critical step is the infusion of the ruh, or spirit. So in this view, consciousness isn't some happy accident of complexity. It's a distinct, separate, and purposeful gift.
So what is this ruh? Well, it's described as a non-material essence from a divine source. It's the core of our identity, our self-awareness. It is that irreducible I, that single unified self that experiences everything. Essentially, it's the very thing the hard problem of consciousness is looking for. The source isn't in the matter itself, it's from somewhere else entirely. And this leads to a really powerful way of thinking about it. In this view, the brain isn't the one creating the consciousness. It's the instrument. Think of it like a radio. A radio picks up a broadcast signal and turns it into music, right? But the radio itself didn't create the music, it's just the receiver. In the same way, the brain is seen as the incredibly complex piece of biological hardware that allows the non-material I to tune in and interact with the physical world.
Okay, so what does all of this actually mean for us right now? Why does this argument even matter? Well, the implication is pretty profound. It suggests that our own consciousness is meant to be a source of discovery.
This perspective basically invites us to look inward. The Quran says that there are signs to be found not just in the vastness of the universe, but also within ourselves, that our inner world, our consciousness, isn't just random noise. It's a place where we can find evidence of a deeper reality.
And this consciousness isn't just a passive spectator, it's the very foundation for everything that makes us, well, human. It's what gives us free will. It allows us to reflect on our own thoughts, it's how we can tell right from wrong, and ultimately, it's what makes us accountable for our choices.
These are things that are incredibly hard to explain if we're just sophisticated machines running a program.
So, here it is, the key takeaway. The argument from consciousness, whether you're looking at it philosophically or theologically, suggests that your inner world, that unique, private experience of being you, isn't some evolutionary glitch or a trick of the mind. Instead, it might just be the most powerful signpost we have, pointing toward a reality that goes beyond the purely physical.
And that leaves us with one final big question to ponder. If your consciousness really is a sign, a gift from beyond the material world, what is it reflecting? Is your inner world a mirror